Okay, hello everyone. We've moved a little bit ahead in our journey at this point, exploring some of the parallel worlds in order to extract perks. We jumped ahead and did the east parallel world and the west one. Now we're just clearing out this dragon, who bit me pretty hard right there, as you can see. Just trying to get that extra max health from him. This was just a little bit of a callback to an earlier episode where we took out the dragon. But yeah, we went through the east and west, just some boring stuff, basically grabbing all the perks that we could get from the shops between the Holy Mountains. Looking for things like add mana. A few changes that happened were pinpointer, which has kind of changed our shotgun into this thing, which is cool. Plus, doesn't have spread anymore, but it all of the pellets seem to hit the same target, which is good in itself. The rage-filled levitation has been an interesting perk to play around with. Combining that with homing, these things seem to be going after our opponents. Now, it could be that they're also getting healed by my Circle of Vigor. I don't know whether that affects enemies or just me, but either way, our Circle of Vigor wand has improved a little bit with an all-seeing eye sutured onto that, so we also have permanent vision. We were able to get the blood money for death by accident. This can be another source of interesting healing. And if you look carefully, our orb count has now gone to 9. But it was, more of the same kind of content, basically going through some of the just copies of the worlds as you're off in these parallel worlds. So we decided to move ahead a little bit so we could get a little closer to that victory that we have been so craving. So, here in the West Jungle, we kind of took this whole place apart, looking for more add mana. That's some teleport stuff on the ground. We don't want to mess with that. I say we dig through here, and according to this, there's a bunch of wands for sale in this shop. We're going to need to go take care of Scott per standard operating procedure. He should be spawning any second, and he usually can't handle my drill and my permanent healing, so... Oh, he's like running away from me. Come on back, buddy. Okay, so that's... At this stage in the game, that's about how much effort he requires, which is great for us. Don't have to worry about him. We can heal through anything. Eat your vegetables, bouncing spells, not sure about that, and upon death you respawn with 100 health. I like that. Say we get turned into something horrible and killed, we have an extra answer for that. I think I am going to pick that up as an emergency. And we'll save the reload for the final shop, which is going to be down one more level. Now you're seeing, why is there a bunch of red gold around? This is the Trick Blood Money perk. If they die by, quote, accident from something else exploding and killing them. That combined with Gold is Forever that we picked up on the east. Another one of my favorite perks. Allows us to get a second source of healing that's not as important anymore because of the permanent heal wand. And you see our health is quite high now too, 2600 with Gold is Forever. No immunity to toxic yet, but with the healing, it's like not as important. We're looking for that coveted Tinker with Wands Anywhere. It's really what I'm particularly interested in getting at this point for this episode. We can find it. ideally without having to go to one deeper in parallel worlds, but since we're here, I really don't have a problem going 2-3 deep in parallels if I need to. And considering that we can heal through the orbs of corrupted knowledge, there's very little reason not to try it after we finish this one. Get those last perks out of here, and we might just simply teleport straight back up rather than return home, and we'll just go one deeper. I'd also like to show off how I've been able to port through what you saw in the last episode of me digging through and using ambrosia to very carefully stay alive in the parallel world is no longer necessary. We now can actually, if we're careful... Come on, get out of here. These guys are being annoying. I just want to get this stuff. I want this wand. I want to see it. It has accelerating shot. Guys keep trying to pick it up. That would be cool for making the kinetic wand, which we would consider using in a if we were going for like a higher orb count victory. There's some blood money if I've ever seen it, and it's helping to just give us an extra source of healing in the middle of all this. Because as long as I remember to port while we're, you know, on fire and being shot and this, that, and the other, then there's really no problem. I can pretty much heal through all of it. Doesn't matter that I'm not immune to toxic, doesn't matter that I can be burned. What we do need to be aware of is just things that cause death, like polymorph. So that was why it was nice that we recently added a extra life one-off perk. So should something horrible occur, my game won't just exactly end immediately from an accident. Which is so important. Ooh, losing frames. Nice. Something's going on down here. Guys stuck in the rock. Strange days. So this is what the shotgun looks like now. It's kind of funny looking. It's like sped up. There's a lot going on with it. This is, I think, oil. Why don't we try digging through here? Go dispatch Scott. I believe this will be the Temple of the Art shop. So, it's our last one for Parallel World West 1. East was pretty much mundane stuff. We went flying through there. We grabbed the perks. We made short work of the easy mobs. So, decided to spare the viewer of that. Oh, there's a master of polymorph. It's not... It's like an emergency situation to deal with those whenever you see them. I don't want to spend too much time in the Temple of the Art because it's dangerous. But we need to go through here because I want that last perk. And we have the money to do a reload. When we go to the next one, though, when we're actually going to go one over to West 2. What do we got in here? Garbage. We'll be able to see a kind of a funny proof of concept where I can actually, due to having permanent healing, I can get through the cursed rock without ambrosia. Alright. This is what we needed. We dug through here. We get our Scott action. Grab this. Oh, he's coming out. Guns blazing. Got him. Easy peasy. heavy spread somewhere around here. But what we did find is, of course, this. Reduce recharge time. Very important. Were the stats on these wands good enough for me to make the switch? No. No high mana recharge one. Attracting gold. Toxicity. Tinker with wands everywhere is probably the most important thing that we needed from all of these parallel worlds. So, as long as we grab it, we'll be able to make changes on the fly. Allows us to make a third destructive wand if we felt that were necessary. But for an 11 orb victory, it may not actually be necessary. So at this point, we want to do one more parallel world to our left. Hopefully without dying. Acid. Ow, ow, ow. Normally, you don't blow up the acid in front of yourself. I'm being swapped like a crazy person. Okay. We're okay. We're just kind of gonna very carefully try to get out of this. Look at all this trick blood money that is gold forever, too. Nine orbs. So, if we do the math on this, we can go all the way up through to the West Parallel World 2, grab the Temple Orb of Corrupted Knowledge and the Sky Orb of Corrupted Knowledge. Then we go down, grab the perk from the top place, whatever. And then we port back. We'll be at 11, but we should be able to just go complete the work and accomplish the goal that we wanted, which is going to unlock an extra thing on the, essentially the achievement tree to say that I got an 11 orb victory. Because I just, for whatever reason, it just hadn't came up yet. That's one of the victories I hadn't done. I'm not exactly even sure what happens. I just know from something or from talking in some forum that that is one of the victories. And it feels to me like we can accomplish that this time. And like, you know, if people like this and this has been fun to watch me play, we can definitely do another run in the future after we dabble with some other games or anything else. But yeah, this was just me kind of cutting through the parallel worlds. It's a little dry, so I didn't take you all on the voyage through every step of that. But we do need to see that victory, yeah? And if things go right, we can accomplish it. In this session, even, if I do like to keep the episodes to an hour or less. I'm thinking there will be enough time that we can get it done. All good things come to an end. Does black hole ever go permanent? Now, it doesn't, unfortunately, but it would with the letter. So there is a way for me to be using black hole as opposed to the drill. Get through some of this. Especially if I swap it with this and get rid of the teleport, I could probably just permanently black hole through the cursed rock to our left to go to West 2. We can try a little proof of concept with that now by doing something like this. Then we drop the teleport out of it. And then this happens. Easy. Put the teleport back. Put the heal back. Oh! Blood money everywhere. All gratuitous though at this point for this level of power. Ooh, chaotic polymorphine potion sitting right there. Scary stuff. Should be able to just dig right through to the overworld. From here we can skip the entrance. Because now, yeah, overworld here. We can head to the west, get those last 2 orbs. Okay, so it does run out of mana, but the only thing it's not being able to cast is the All-Seeing Eye, which is fine. You can hear that it goes poof poof out of mana. Of course, I could drink a potion to solve that. However, you don't need vision in the overworld, you can already see, so we'll just keep it going. All the way to the left, we will find the edge of the world, and we can head through to the next parallel, where there will be 2 orbs. 2 orbs of corrupted knowledge that we'll need to put it over. Now, one thing that'll be kind of hilarious about this is that I could either just drill this and heal through it with the heal, or we'll just chuck a black hole. Thanks to having Tinker with Wands everywhere, I can actually just black hole whenever. I believe that Alpha will also infinitely cast the black hole, just as it's doing with Circle of Vigor. However, thanks to Pinpointer and some other perks that we have, I foresee the black hole basically going through the curse by itself. Let's test that out by doing what we did before. Take this and go here. Okay. Make sure that this is all correct. It's still healing me. Now we do this. Ow, 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 ow. It's like ow, ow, ow. Probably needed one more black hole, but you can see just the effectiveness of permanent healing is that I'm literally enveloped in a curse and healing through it by remembering to just cast the teleport wand every few seconds. I'm literally able to get through it. And we did it again. Alright, so that's how easy parallel world access can be if you have permanent heal. So this is it. My calculations are correct. We will be able to face the final boss with 11 orbs and go for that victory. And I don't even know what happens when we do 11. I know it's something. It's different than the, like, you get turned into gold and die. Or, you know, you can see by the necklace I'm wearing that I had a 33 orb victory at one point a long time ago on just a massively epic run that took me forever, and I painstakingly dismantled the world bit by bit over what must have been endless. Oh, I'm not going in here. I don't want to explore the watchtower just yet. I instead want the temple, so we can grab that orb of corrupted knowledge. You know what? It may not count because I already got one from this side. Yeah, I can't even pick it up. Ooh. Ugly. Okay, that's fine though, because there's no reason why there's anything wrong with just heading over near another parallel world to grab the perks, except when a guy's throwing super jacked up. Holy moly, did you see what he had? He had like giga discs. That was terrible. Okay, so yeah, those orbs are a lie. If you've gotten one in one of the side parallel worlds, you can't just continue to go to the left over and over again and continue to pick up the same orb. But you know what you can do is quickly run down and grab the perks. So a lot of things that I said about that, oh yeah, we can just be done this episode and we can end up winning, that's actually not going to be in the cards anymore now that we have remembered that that is not possible. To just get it. Instead, we just want perks while we're over here. It's fairly low-hanging fruit. If you can get to a parallel world easy, and your teleport wand is good, and you're permanently healing, why should we not go grab the perks? We have the money for it. Even with Tinker with wands everywhere, there's still going to be something else that we could use that would help us in our exploration for the final 2 that we're going to need. If anything, just becoming more powerful because it's fun. Like, lest we forget. Trying to have a good time. But of course they weren't going to make it that easy. We couldn't just go west, 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 orb of corrupted knowledge over and over again and end up just being like, okay, cool, I'm at 33 or whatever, an unlimited number. You can only get one corrupted knowledge orb per side in its spot. So that means on the east and west we've taken all the low-hanging fruit ones, meaning we've grabbed Magical Temple, we've grabbed regular temple, outdoor desert temple, and we've grabbed the one above the main entry point, of course. Scott should be right in here. Hey, we can at least make peace with our gods too if we want to. Concentrated mana. Every time enemy dies, you release mana recharging liquid. Sounds interesting. I can fly longer. That's going to be very helpful. Peace with gods. Do we want to make Scott not an issue anymore? Sure. I'm sick of fighting him. Now he's given up on us. And down we go. Since we're here in West 2, we don't need to be spending a ton of time exploring all of this. There's probably not going to be a wand that's going to make or break me, but we do just want the perks. Breathless would be great. Some more various immunities, because why not? Let's see what we got. And, you know, if you're particularly crazy, you can continue to go all the way to West 3, West 4, West 5, East 3. You know, you can keep going, and there will be new perks in each one, right? Nothing to write home about in here. Exploding gold. Low recoil. Your spells fly slightly slower. Not sure about that. Okay, we have the 200k. Let's just recharge this. Your current wand loses half its capacity but gains more mana. Boomerang spells. Interesting. From now on, you'll find an extra perk in every holy mountain. Sure. Okay, we can't afford a reload anymore. All that money from the gold we've now spent. It's fine. That's what it was there for. Hey! Reload spell. Grabbing that. We have a few of those now. Anything else from here that's sort of unnecessary? Probably only need one chainsaw. Accelerating shot we can throw. Need a little bit of room. Let's go find those perks, yeah? Not sure if it would be necessary to go too deep in Parallel Worlds for an 11 orb run. You know, it's probably overkill, but it can never be too safe. Getting like some extra perks such as like, hey, if you die, you respawn with 100 life and your game doesn't end. Like certain things like that are going to be helpful for a person like me who's a little more mistake prone in this game. I mean, I'd like to think I'm playing cautiously, but that a couple episodes ago when I died in the acid, we learned that I can definitely stumble and fall on my face in this game. To do a little bit of like looking up stuff about this, there's plenty of people who make funny videos of them just dying. I think I have one. So it is part of the experience. No more knockback. I like that. Enemies cannot knock you back. That seems pretty helpful for me. We're grabbing it. Melee immunity, very nice. All-seeing eye all the time. Now we can drop that off our teleport wand. Healthy exploration, fine. Taking this off the teleport wand, because now I can just see. Cool. Interesting that I have a halo now. Energy shield sector. A little bit of energy pointing toward, you know, protecting us for wherever we're going. Deflect incoming projectiles. I lose mana on this wand. Don't lose it on this one. We could theoretically put that passively on here. Now it does lose mana, so we won't be putting it there. I like it on the teleport then. We will instead go here. Very nice. Very nice. Alright. Moving right along. The rage-fueled levitation, running around working on the enemies while I'm just jumping, which is really cool. This is an interaction I had never noticed before that I find to be particularly helpful. If I jump, then these bolts run around and work. Trying to get some deaths by accident in there. There's a few. So I'm immune to melee now too, that's pretty cool. There's another spell reload. That I feel like we're running a little bit low on, or like we have two of them already in our backpack and it's not becoming that important. Tinker with it. Tinker everywhere. Okay, that's taking a lot more mana and casting a little quick. I like it. I think adding an extra recharge to the teleport is cool. Oops. I'm gonna stay with that. That wasn't a bad investment. Alright. So yeah, that last bit of perks we picked up with the immunity to melee, can't be knocked back. Really cool. You see, we make short work of the mobs these days. Peace with gods might have been unnecessary because Scott can't function versus me anymore, but it's just an annoyance that I don't want to deal with. There's that vampirism that we're not going to grab anymore. No longer helpful. Living on the edge. A homunculus. Slime blood. You bleed slime, but slime no longer slows you down, and you have higher projectile resistance. I kind of like slime blood. We're going to go with it. Hey, now we're getting letters in here. What does Zeta do? Copy a random spell. Okay, thank you. Drills because drill. And let's see what we got in the jungle. Stop by, visit our pal the dragon. We'll call back, grab that health. That's probably unnecessary. I don't think the dragon's gonna knock my socks off anymore with what he has to give us. Ugh, I don't want to get too close to the mushroom biome though. I feel like the slime blood is giving me immunity to fire. It is. Something is giving me immunity to fire now. Very nice. And immunity to explosion. So I can do whatever I want at this point. The character has become pretty late game. For me. About as good as I'm ever going to need to be for an 11 orb victory. We just need those last 2 orbs. We gotta think about where we want to try to pull them out. I'm thinking, yeah, Frozen Vault in the main world. Should have one at the bottom. What perks we got here? More greed. Love it. Faster levitation I don't really like. It's just harder for me to function. Trick greed. Angry Ghost. Copy nearby spells. Okay. Enemies near you take damage. The damage is higher, the lower your health gets. Contact damage. Never had this perk before. Let's get it, because it may or may not be new. And it will unlock that for me. A cool little symbol around me. Be beautiful if that's like, oh, that counts as death by accident, or something stupid. Oh, I'm drowning. Hello. Contact damage plus immunity to melee. Sounds cool. I do bleed slime now, which is interesting. But slime won't slow me down. There's that acid that would kill me. Let's not mess with any of that. I see that acid and I just get PTSD. Or the Noita equipped version of that. Noita frustration disorder is probably a more respectful way to look at it. Okay, why am I being swappered? There's just acid everywhere and I don't like it. Acid might still kill us. Like, if I got completely submerged in acid, I don't see myself surviving. Don't have that immunity to toxic either yet, which is whatever. There will be one more set of perks down here before we go home and begin searching for those final 2 orbs. So we can end it all on a high note, getting the ending that we want. You pick that up? Interesting. Nobody pick up wands, please. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Ooh, I am hurt. Let's try to make sure we are also healing in this process. The swapper has gotta go. Please stop. God, I hate swappers. They just have swapped me into the most horrible places and have killed me so many times. Little sludge. I do like that the rage-filled levitation goes barreling toward our enemies. It almost is like a form of a simple radar. There's a lot happening at the screen at any given time. Okay, sniper, thank you. So it is helping us to just sort of see what our challenges around us are. I might be a little too far to the right for that final perk before we head home and visit the frozen vault. Acid, please. God. The extra source of healing from the red gold is good. I mean, it can be a way to just keep yourself healed. It's probably less effective than a permanent healing wand like I have. But they'll all sort of combine together, as you see with me just basically being on fire permanently, which I thought I was immune to fire. Didn't you hear me say that earlier? I'm like, oh, it's weird, I'm standing in the fire and I don't have a problem. I'm definitely not immune to fire. There's a black hole. Do spread, sure. Invisible is cool. Extra item in Holy Mountain. Okay, we'll go with invisible for now. Righto. Down below is the Temple of the Art, where if we were looking for some really nice wands, we would go through that. But for now, since the main reason we came all the way over to West 2 was to just round out our perks, let's go home. So this takes us home to the same Holy Mountain that we were in, but the base version of it. So we are in such good shape that what matters now is just trying to win. Meaning that if we're nice and careful, we go through some of these areas that we've already thoroughly explored, we will head to the Frozen Vault, where I think, quote-unquote, that there will be an Orb of True Knowledge at the bottom. It's one we haven't discovered yet. We could have just done that in the parallel world too, but if we can't find a different one, because of course we can't remember where they all are, we could just go to a parallel world and get that one, get it from the same spot. That would put us to 11. Because we learned earlier that just heading up and going, alright, I'm going to get the same orb in every other world over and over again doesn't work. That's too simple. It would be very easy to get unlimited orbs of true knowledge if you could just continuously go into new parallel worlds and just pick the easy ones from the overworld out. So I'm fine with that. We can't do that. It makes us have to think a little bit. Of course I should have known that, but I don't have just an encyclopedia in my head of everything about this game. Here's a way we can just sneak into the overworld here. This is non-parallel, so we won't be looking at any issues with like horrible monsters coming after us. This is the achievement pillars, so one of the reasons why we're going for the 11 is that another pillar will be unlocked in one of these things for us. I almost feel like that second recharge is going a little too far. Yeah, this is... If you get the reload too quick on a teleport wand, it can start acting a little crazy. So where's the frozen vault? If we go all the way to the left here and we end up in the lake... Oh, this is it. Okay. Okay, so we found one of these off the track places. I'm thinking our character should be more than powerful enough to handle this place with all the extra perks we've picked up. There could be some different mobs in here that I am unaware of. We are immune to electric, which will be helpful in these types of metal places where charges can go through the metal all around us, and there are machines in here. Possible we could find a nice wand. But yeah, our goal is going to be just to get to the bottom of this, assuming that we find an orb of true knowledge at the bottom. Okay, that guy is in Ambrosia somehow, or is using some sort of effect to keep him protected. So let's not mess around with that for too long. Spells. Okay. So yeah, I'm just basically always on fire or toxic, and I just am healing through it, because I was unable to get those perks without doing another parallel world, which at this point, sure, it wouldn't take me that long to go do another one to the left or right. But for this victory, I think we can be a little bit more focused on just getting that 11th orb now. Still doesn't hurt to check out the wands as we are passing through. Ow, ow, ow. Hey, that's Flamuxian. Don't open it, dude. Ow. No problem, no problem. It's the damage I'm taking is just from the fire. It's from being burning all the time. He has a wand, that's not good. It was quite electric. And wow, we called it an orb. Beautiful. Craziness from above. Let's see if we can try to get out of here. We've gotten what we needed from this place. There's robots everywhere. Boom. Look at that chunk of gold. The amount of gold now required in order to do another reload is pretty excessive, 400k. So without some source of like just mass carnage, we won't be really looking at another reload as a practical thing right now for another perk. I can't think, like now that we have Tinker wands anywhere, and some of the other stuff that we had been desiring, I can't think of like a make or break perk right now for the victory that we're going for. It's going to like be something that's like stop the presses, we have to get that. Which means for us that we're in the post-gold economy. We don't need to run around and pick it all up. I mean, it is always nice to get greed and what have you, and just to have that, so we can buy stuff along the way. Now, there is an orb of true knowledge that I'm aware of that is near the beginning of the game. I want to say it could be under the lava lake? We really could go and mess around with that and do a little bit of exploration. There's probably also one in the alchemist base, which would have been just under where we just passed. However, I don't like to go in there because it's too hard. So how about we try this? Let's explore under the temple. I think There is one in that area. I'm racking my brain for where everything was. But if we go underneath the Desert Pyramid Temple, we should find the 11th orb. Looking a little Temple of the Ardi in here. And then it goes into this, the Sand Cave, which is just full of these guys. It's a kind of a, I'd like to say a fairly simple biome, but in the past I've been able to find an orb of true knowledge by just going straight down from the temple. It's big, though, is one of the things about this, is that you can be like, man, I've been going down here for what feels like forever. Because it kind of goes along the length of the other part of the world. This didn't work. So we found dense rock. That wasn't it. Let's explore a little bit to the right and left. There it is. I was right. Orb 11. Okay, let's remember that for next time. It's not that hard to get this one. We don't have to go checking out parallel worlds erroneously, trying to pick up orbs we already have, due to just sheer laziness. It's like, oh, I'm afraid to explore. Well, it's not the game for you then. I am just highly conservative in my roguelike game choices. Anybody who's watched me play some of the other ones knows I don't like to gamble. But, you know, that only goes so far. So we're just sort of killing this stuff on the way. We're back at the temple. This means we are on the right track. Whoa, that's a weird looking electric guy. Holy moly. That was crazy, huh? I don't recognize that mob, but he was intense. This should be our tunnel out. That brings us to the big 11. Should we just do it? Let this episode go a little bit longer and simply go get the win? See if we can beat the final boss, yeah? I'm not sure. Now, the final boss, it's harder and harder as you pick up orbs, right? Gets more hit points and I think unlocks different attacks. And if he can just dispatch me with something, I don't know what he does. I don't think he can just polymorph you, but he can do an obscene amount of damage very quickly. And he certainly fills the screen with projectiles, so he does a really good job of overwhelming your defenses. It's almost like we picked up a lot of stuff we didn't need to do, but, you know, there were a few learning moments here for me. It's that general roguelike conservatism that you're seeing me show by making sure that I'm over-prepared for what we're trying to do. A permanent heal wand like this is probably something that you would use to go for a much higher orb run, right? But there's no reason why you couldn't have one for an 11 orb. Just to keep things nice and safe. Because what matters after that is that it goes on the achievement place that we walked by on top of the tree. So I'll always be able to go back and be like, oh yeah, I remember when I did that. And recorded most of it onto YouTube. You know, we skipped some of the boring parallel world stuff. A few things in the middle. But it was a long play. This should be the Temple of the Art. So now time to get careful, yeah? Heading straight down. avoiding this teleport juice that seems to be all over the place. We find one of the red portals. And we go and we head into the work. I almost feel like I haven't looked at this wand. What is this? Nothing. I think I did. Hey, a heart. That means we hadn't been here yet. Okay, that's fine. Picking up gold because why? I don't know, like... a little more health, though. It's like if it's here... First of all, let's smash this curse, too. Here we go, bad guy. There it is. Pick this up because... And this is... Hey, this reload is only 100k, so let's pick it up. For projectile repulsion sector might help versus this boss. Here we go. This is the big moment. Now, I can pick up the salt, and I don't have to fight him. But I want to. So in order for me to hold the salt, I need to get rid of one of these potions. We'll use the partially empty ambrosia. And now let's see if we can actually take him. Another thing we're going to do is chug this. We want to fill our belly with a bunch of concentrated mana. Ugh. Can't port for some reason, it's not working. Am I even hurting him, is the question. Look at this thing. How would I even begin to affect him? This might be one of those situations where it's like, cool, however, you can't fight this. Okay, he got rid of something. I am hurting him now. Concentrated mana still has 50-some seconds. He lost whatever its shield system seemed to have been. My health is fine. The lava's flowing. Okay, now he does this again. Alright. We're whittling. We are whittling. The projectile repulsion field is definitely helping. Ooh. He doesn't like the drilling. The drilling is hurting him a lot. He's biting on me, though. I am immune to melee, so that seems to be helping. Okay, don't panic, Stens. He healed, though. Now that made me think that my heal is healing him. Because as you see, he shouldn't be back at full. Like, I don't know what that was or how that happened. He's now wedged himself in here. So let's not use the teleport for now, and see if we can actually bring him down. This, and then he's back to, okay. Why are you healing? Can't seem to hurt me. It's also worth noting that I am, like, standing in him, being immune to melee, being immune to a bunch of stuff. I think we have proved now that the Circle of Vigor is healing him. Because I was like, why did he go back to full? What is happening? This is just a mess, people. Now I am taking damage, and I don't care for it. But he's at half. Ow. He's got friends appearing. If any one of these polymorphs me and kills me, I'm going to yell. Jesus. Okay, we've stopped teleporting because the concern is the Circle of Vigor just goes to him and he's like, ooh, thank you. He's certainly making a lot of friends. Is that worm blood or slime coming out of him? In case he has his own kind of blood. I'm taking a bunch of damage. Something blasted me. We're still okay. Crit, crit, crit. He's down to 40,000 life. 26,000. I'm still at 2,500. And he does this thing. Something that hit me again. I wonder if he's about to go crazy as he's dying. 9k. Just get it done. Oh my god. I could have just left. I didn't have to fight him. But I'm like... I wanted to. He's almost dead. Got it. We've defeated the boss. And then the portal opens. And the thing to note is if you don't go through here, portal to the work is a lie. So that flooded with lava, which is going to be a slight issue. So we're going to have to dig around this. We have the salt, which is our endgame MacGuffin. We need to carry it away from here, through this brickwork, and basically dig through all this. We could also just quick black hole some of this to make it a little faster, but I'm fine with drilling. The amount of time it takes to, like, whip up the black hole may actually save us a second. Sorry if this episode goes a couple minutes long as we win. You know, we were conservative in setting our sights just at an 11 orb victory. And allowed us to actually fight the boss in some kind of a coherent battle. I have found that when I go after him and I have 20, 30 orbs, the health on the thing is so obscenely large, especially in New Game Plus, mind you, that the limitations of my wand designing effort or skill that I put into it really start to show. Because I'm like, huh? I'm hitting him for just minuscule amounts of damage because even when I make like a kinetic blaster, it's like not enough. And seeing how that he basically made using a permanent heal Circle of Vigor wand impossible. Clearly it was healing him. And it seemed like that. I'm like, oh, it seems like the Circle of Vigor is homing toward our enemies and healing them. But because their hit points are so low, and the shotgun was so quickly killing them, it didn't really cause a problem. Like, I was out DPSing the heals. I could see how in a New Game Plus that would backfire badly. So you would need like a better way, a more coherent system for healing to do the harder content. Which means that I feel now a little bit redeemed that my type of jury-rigged permanent heal wand was not a loss. It wasn't a waste in this run at all. And there is no loss when we unlock a achievement pillar. You know, memories, right? We'll be able to play again in the future, look at the top of the tree and say, yeah, we did the 11 orb. It had to be done at some point. If you're ever going to finish that tree, which, whew, I couldn't, I bet you, I mean, there's probably people out there who've done it, but that is like those of you who have, you know, my hat's off to you. That's I consider this game to be very difficult. So I'm impressed with anybody who's like, yeah, done everything. And I know every secret. Wow. I like to leave a lot of that mystique just unknown. Unless you see, like, there was new stuff I saw, I didn't want to even go and check it out, because it's like, that's just stuff we have to do on another run. You play a Noita run and you go, okay, I have a goal, this is what I want to accomplish. We're going to get 11 orbs and unlock that part of the achievement pillar. And then we didn't deviate from that. Here's that little hole up to the side. And this is it. So you take your salt and you head right on up to the top here. And you go back up, right up here, and I believe we just say complete the work. Complete the work. Whoa! What just happened? The world is gold. It's a golden world. Can I even pick up this gold? What is going on? The mountain turned to gold. It's all gold. What is happening? This is crazy pills. Wow. And it's like some of it you can't even pick up. It's like it's just frozen in time. Like I'm now... Whoa. Like how do I... What is going on? How do I die? How does the game end? The lava turned to gold. My gold is unlimited, so if I pick this up, none of this matters. I am just... What is going on? I have to drill through some of this. Wow. I hear an orb. Where's the orb? In here? What is this room? There's a robot! This is like the RC car room. Cool. Hey. You're supposed to like be able to drive him on like a track. But huh? I thought there was an orb of true knowledge in here. Doesn't matter like why I'm running around and picking this up. I'm just more like just being like my mind is blown. I've never seen this. I've never seen the world turn to gold. And it's fitting because we did that episode. I was like, welcome to the gold. Pick up this. Will this create the... There's supposed to be like a boss that spawns whenever you do this. Even my pinpointer is gold. Yeah, here comes the... This thing is supposed to be... This thing will like polymorph you and kill you. So hopefully this will kill me now, and then I'll just be done. He made wands. He is the master of wands. I'm not breaking through his... whatever he is. I can't seem to hurt him correctly. I'm like trying to stand in gold to do this. My potions are full of gold. I can't even drink concentrated mana anymore. How does this die? We are just getting crazy here. This is a little anticlimactic. It's like, why? What are you doing, Stens? Did you need to kill this thing? Yeah. Because it's funny. I've always wanted to beat this thing. He's like a trap boss. Like, if you're low level, you can walk over here and be like, ooh, look, I'm off the beaten path. I found a thing. And then he is just on an entirely other level, obviously, as you're seeing. I'm hitting him for like one at a time. It's contact damage that's killing him. Oh, he's hitting me with a port. I think I'm beating him with contact damage. So just running into him. And that did it. And he dropped a full heal. Now I'll heal. I thought I'll heal. stuff's getting weird. Oh, I couldn't cast spells because of neutralized spells. Okay, wow. Well, maybe I should have let him kill me so that I would get the actual, like, achievements for having done this. But I'll find some other way off camera for this character to be... If this character dies, I believe it gets the achievements. So, alright. We will end it there. Thanks for watching this victory. If people enjoyed watching me play this game, we will definitely do another run in the future. Maybe something with a little bit of a higher orb count, maybe a little bit more exploration. You know, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this kind of long-form content. There's other stuff on my channel that might be interesting to you. We are currently playing a RimWorld series, and from a real story-driven position, so check out that if you like that game. And we will continue to play various things, and definitely we will be playing this again. This is one of my all-time favorites. So, we won. End of story. Thanks for watching.